y'all seen this? And y'all expect that baby to come out when? Welcome to She Knows DNA. My name is Miavana and I am a board certified genetic counselor. Having to deliver a baby as big as the baby that was in the intro picture is insane. But what if I told you that there is a medical condition that mom has that can cause someone to have a big old baby? Let's get into it. Let's talk about maternal diabetes. For some people, whenever they hear diabetes or a diagnosis of such, usually they think that you have been eating too much candy, eating too much dessert. And because you're eating all that candy and dessert and the sweets, now your sugar is high. And I mean, it's kind of true, but not exactly. That is not the full definition. In general, diabetes is a chronic condition that occurs when the pancreas can no longer make insulin or the body cannot effectively use insulin. Whenever you intake food, especially those that have glucose in it, which do not only include sugar like candy sugar, but also in some fruits like mangoes and pineapples, and even in other foods like bread, there's rice, pasta, potatoes. The glucose enters our body. Then the hormone insulin, which is made by the pancreas, is supposed to help break down that glucose and make it into energy that our body can use. But if there is something wrong with the pancreas or something, low levels of insulin, or if things are insulin resistant, then that means there is that buildup of glucose in the body that was not able to be broken down, and that can cause a problem. There are 3 types of diabetes. You have type 1, type 2, and gestational. Type 1 is more so of an autoimmune disease because the body is unable to make insulin at all or very little amounts, which is why it is very imperative for them to have insulin intake every single day. I do want to take a pause here because I do remember on one of the past seasons of Love is Blind, there was this guy that was stating that his child had type 1 diabetes. There was another castmate though that was like, how does your son have diabetes? Like, you just need to get up and move and make him eat real foods. Like, that is so crazy and irresponsible. He's an idiot. Okay, someone is born with that. The body is attacking itself. It has nothing to do with the types of food they eat. It's nothing that can go away through exercise. It is what it is. And yes, very common in children, unfortunately. Now, type 2 diabetes, however, yes, that your food that you're eating doesn't help. You need to check your sugars. You know, that's why some people, whenever, even if they do have diabetes, in a way that they can reverse it by changing their lifestyle. That's the most common that you'll see around the world. Gestational diabetes is diabetes that comes about only when you're pregnant. What does diabetes have anything to do with that big old baby I showed y'all before? Don't worry, let's talk about it. So it is known that literally everything or almost everything that a mom intakes may or may not affect the baby. So in this case, as far as diabetes is concerned, that even if insulin is high in the body, whenever it comes to the baby, the glucose that can move throughout the membrane, essentially of the placenta, to go into the baby. Insulin, however, cannot. If the diabetes is not controlled, there are most definitely effects that can transfer or happen to the baby. This includes macrosomia, which in other words, large for gestational age, a big old baby. Then there can be shoulder dystocia. That's whenever you are delivering a baby and the head has come out, but the shoulders are stuck. And usually they're stuck behind the mom's pelvic bone. That sounds painful. There's also a higher risk of miscarriage and even having a stillborn. There's a higher risk of mom having high blood pressure and preeclampsia. There's also a risk for whenever the baby to be born, they could literally lead to obesity and even honestly having type 2 diabetes. As they age, at some point, they're at a higher risk of that. But for some of these babies too, as soon as the baby is born, you'll notice that they have low blood sugars or hypoglycemia. Last but not least, a telltale sign for some of these babies that were born to a mother that had uncontrolled diabetes is called caudal regression. Whenever you see caudal, basically just think of the butt area. And so for caudal regression, what's happened is that there is no spine that was made in the lower back. That it affects the hips, it affects the legs, it affects the feet. You can have things like spina bifida, even the most severe kind. It can affect the digestive system. It can affect like the urinary tract. So yeah, we're talking about even how you pee and how you poop. Like those cannot be working properly, even be closed. And then you also have things like the kidneys. In the United States, it's estimated that 6 out of every 100 people that are pregnant, they will have gestational diabetes. The high risk category and demographics do include being 25 years or older, being obese, having a history of gestational diabetes in a previous pregnancy, high blood pressure or heart disease, PCOS, you are already being pre-diabetic, you have a family history of diabetes, or you are within a certain race group, including Black, Native American, and Asian. Now, I know I just threw out a lot of information at y'all, but the key is uncontrolled diabetes can have a negative effect on a baby, including them being very big like the one in the picture, and that's when you look at yourself and it's like, who gonna push that baby out? Girl, you might as well be ready to have a C-section. That's the point here. That's the point. And Black women, we already have a lot of statistics against us when it comes to being pregnant or even for the baby. So if that gestational diabetes or diabetes type 1 or type 2 comes in your life, let's make sure we take the extra effort to get that controlled. We do not need any more factors against us when it comes to pregnancies. And now to leave you with words of wisdom. Y'all, my cousins be doing me so dirty. The other day I had sent them a video, you know, just being like, hey y'all, like I love you, I miss you, you know, being very cousinly, showing them my heart and my soul. And can you believe the responses they sent? Let me show you. It's not right. I deserve a public apology. I deserve a public apology. So all those cousins that's in that group chat, I'll be waiting. Get some new cousins. Don't worry, I'm gonna have auditions for new cousins. How about that? Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for continuing to support She Knows DNA. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let the people know that She Knows DNA is back. And also, my birthday coming up. Y'all guess how old I'm gonna be. I'm gonna write it in the comments. Write in the comments. Can you guess how old I will be? And then when you do that, I am collecting a love offering. If it's placed on your heart to sow into this ministry, trust me, I have multiple ways that you can send that gift to me. But regardless, may God bless you, may He keep you, and I will see y'all next time. Oh, and I already know. Dude, you got something to say to the people? He said no. Okay, have a good one, y'all. Bye.